This is a talk show for the queer community.
Called the Tint Talks. Today we'll be diving into the Grande Ball, which was created by Trayvon and Rumandi Makunda. Hey guys, please introduce yourselves and welcome to the set.
I'm Danny, aka Divine Diamond.
Hello. Okay.
The youngest daughter of the House of Diamonds.
Hi, I'm Llewellyn. I'm Lulubelle Diamond.
Okay.
Yes, the mother of the house.
Okay. Guys, thank you for joining us and let's jump into it. So, why the House of Diamonds? How did the name come about? Who came up with it?
Well, I think when you think about any kind of precious stone, like what is literally the best quality? A diamond.
Okay.
So that's where we literally took it from, and we're like, we think of ourselves as the best. We want to do the best, and shine.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the whole time in rehearsals, I kept going, House of Diamantes, come.
We were like, excuse me, Diamantes.
Okay. And how does it feel being the winners twice in a row of the ball?
Jeez, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it proves that we're working hard and we're just trying to be like a best version of ourselves, and we're trying to inspire. So it's really amazing to be celebrated in that way. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think for me, I was learning a lot. It was my first ball.
Aww.
So I learned a lot from my family and from my house. And I think part of it is also trying to create an institution.
Yeah.
Like we look abroad and we see houses that are absolute institutions. House of Ninja. House of Extravaganza. These are absolute institutions. So trying to take that, learn from it, and become an institution, and also like reinvent, reimagine, but also, as somebody said, like invent and imagine.
And can you tell us a bit about the affiliation between the mother of the ball, the original Hanti, and House of Diamonds?
I mean, Trayvon basically was the mother of the ball, the mother of the House of Diamonds, but then I obviously took over because he can't walk.
Okay.
So that there's no connection to, you know what I mean, and there's no bias or any kind of lotiri snacksy, you know what I mean?
Interesting that you mentioned that.
Where he's the mother of the ball, of the entire ball, where he can just literally help whoever he needs to help, so he can, you know what I mean, everything is clear and he's not connected to us in that way.
Okay.
But yeah, but he'll always be a diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything to add on to that?
No, I think you explained it quite clearly. But I think also like what Trayvon's trying to do is like really create a space of inclusivity and a space of encouraging the formation of multiple houses and for it to grow.
Yeah.
And that's something Trey often says to us.
Okay. It's funny that you actually mentioned bias, because my next question is based on that. What are your thoughts on those who cry bias or nepotism to your house for winning thus far?
I'm gonna start first. I think that I think questions like this are important because I think we're growing. We're trying to challenge the space. We're trying to create a space that can hold questions and contestation and tension and all of that.
Yeah.
I think from my understanding, the way the judging on the night operates is that the judges are chosen at random from the crowd itself. So it's not like a pre-selected panel of judges.
Okay. And what inspires your walks and the looks for the ball?
Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin.
Everything.
Every single thing.
Yeah.
We were so focused. Like the thing was,
Well,
I
hence
mean,
the winning.
well, I think the thing is like everybody's, like everyone was saying earlier, and particularly House of Skabengas, it is a lot. Like you think it's a lot, and then you go through it, and you're like, wow. You have a concept in your mind, and I think you have like a huge idea. And for each of us, you know the category you're walking, and then you kind of imagine what the look is going to be for that, and you start workshopping. If you're pulling from what's in your cupboard, if you're buying stuff, if you're working with designers, if you're trying to just pull something together, it takes time. It takes money in some situations, and it also takes, I think this is a common thread, but it takes a lot out of you to pull that look together
Yeah.
because you've got something in your mind and you're trying to like imagine it, but also like just for myself, I was thinking a performance look. Like I was going, okay, how is this? We're all, I think one of the things about House of Diamonds is we're often like we're performers.
Yes.
So either choreographers or dancers or from theater. And from that background, I was like, oh, but I've got to think of how this will perform. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm ripping away this part, it needs to be a clean rip away. If this is coming off, like, it mustn't be now I'm on stage and I'm trying to like take things off and then it's just going to be
Yes.
like quite messy. So besides the look, you're planning the walk. And I think people maybe don't understand that, like, that's the dimensions. There's so many dimensions. Then you're just a normal human being who's nervous and like really trying to like,
Do your best.
yeah.
And I also think like it's a time where now you're basically like a child and you're in a playpen and you're just playing with things and you're just being crafty.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You're just creating something that's not you every day. You know, like she was saying, it's stretching yourself in ways that you can't even imagine. And it's not even about a money thing. I think it's about being crafty and sourcing out and trying and, you know what I mean? And it's stressful. I mean, like I took a full week to recover from the whole thing. My body was sore. I was just like, emotionally exhausted. It's a lot.
So would you
Because
say then
also
it's
it's a
healthy?
situation of like, you are competing, but you can feel the love and you can feel the connection and you're doing something that's bigger than you. It's
Okay.
not just about flexing your muscles and being like, oh, look at me, I'm fabulous. It's about like who's watching me and they're going to be inspired and then go home and be like, you know what, I'm going to come out, I'm going to be the best version of myself. It's bigger than just like face value. So, yeah, so it takes a lot. Takes a
Like,
lot.
tell us more about what went through your mind within that week of recovery. Why did it take so long for you to actually
Jeez.
recover so much? If it's such a safe space, if it's such a lovely space
I think
to
it's also
be
not
in.
the space itself, but it's also the things that we were speaking about earlier is that this like space that is created is a space we don't exist in our everyday lives as queer people.
Okay.
So that moment of joy, of love, of celebration is also hinged on spaces of not being accepted, not being able to be that version of yourself, of also being surprised at the version of yourself that you were at the ball, and kind of
And the reception.
processing,
Yeah.
like processing to yourself. Like I was like, okay, who is that person? People were telling me, oh, like, who's this version of you? And I was like, I actually don't know. That's someone I think I would want to imagine, someone I don't know if I'm ready for, someone that emerged. And I think that part of it is that there's a lot that we go through in our daily lives that, like, just completely, like everyone was saying before, is under the surface of the ball. And you feel that when you have momentary joy, moments of that, like, are just expansive, like you feel the constriction of daily life.
Oh, wow. Okay, and what hopes do you guys have for the ball as a member or members of the LGBTQ plus community?
I mean, I think what Mandima and Trayvon are trying to do is like beyond the ball, they're trying to do things where maybe it's a drag brunch, it's a this and that, where it's basically just expanding and it's going to different places and it's involving. It's all about inclusivity. I think that's what's really important. It's about building the family, getting the community together so that it's not like, oh my God, there's a Joburg Pride in Soweto, there's a Joburg Pride in Joburg, there's a Pretoria Pride in whatever, where we are all together and we try and find ways to have a connection, where we don't have a broken telephone situation, where everyone is loving and is giving and is inspiring and helping.
Yeah.
Because also we are ostracized in society. So we have to try and like get together, you know what I mean? Just to be stronger and to get through our daily lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, and I think that part of that is also that there's a lot of work to be done internally within the LGBTQIA plus community. And a lot of work around inclusivity and all of
Yes.
that is to be done. I think the ball needs to be an inclusive space and just to address all of that as well. And it's the way that there's external and internal issues. Just to add on that also, I think that it makes me so happy that spaces like Vogue Nights, that the Ball, that Death Drop Island are happening, but also are collaborating.
Yes.
And kind of working with each other, not
Yes.
seeing each other in competition. The thing that Larato was talking about was so palpable backstage, and it was something that I think a lot of us were very determined to do. Like
Yes.
to go over to other houses and say, hey, how are you? Love your outfit. You look great. That eye is bomb. Like just to make that a space of, yes, we are competing, but we're also
It's
trying
for
to
the
make
family.
this a real sense of family. And I think that, I mean, that's often like what I've gotten from House of Diamonds is a real sense of, we're looking after you. I'll get a phone call. How are you, Danny? What's going on? And I think that that's like really, really important.
Yeah, okay. And as the reigning house, what could the Ball collaborate with you on to further impact the community?
I don't know. I mean, I think in the future we'll see what happens. I mean, we are very willing and we're open to do whatever we need to do for the community. I think for us, as the House of Diamonds, it's not just about walking or trying to be the best or whatever. It's about, giving something,
Yes.
and not taking. So we are like open to whatever we can do. We can inspire, have talks. I mean, we're artists. We can use whatever talents we have to reach the community and to connect everyone.
Yeah, and I think it's about like, how do we take the Ball space into like fractions of our daily lives? And also create spaces that, yes, we are separate houses, but we also assist each other in ways and kind of like, I think that like, yes, we like winning, everybody likes winning, but we also like competing and assisting people and like making sure that the space just expands so that there are more houses, there's more people who feel like that the Ball is an accessible space to them, but also that they can compete. And that it's not, like, I think like Lerato and everyone said before, that it's not super intimidating just to take that first step. So I think that that's something that we can assist with. Even like there was a workshop that was done with Lysandra Ninja, teaching voguing. That was a really important thing, and that kind of got me into the space and like, okay, I can do this. And I think it's things like that, things around the culture that we're kind of trained in. I mean, Lulu is a professional dancer, stuff like that.
Okay. And what do you guys think our country needs to do to better the lives of the LGBTQ plus community? Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one.
My God, there's just too much. There's just way too much. I just feel like in our community there's a hole where we don't feel like we're connected to the government or to society because no one cares. Everyone is just like, fend for yourselves and figure it all out. We think of you like this. We connect you with diseases, with whatever. This is you. You do you. And then it's also a situation of like, even with clubs and whatever, inclusivity and bathrooms and, people want to feel safe. No matter if you're straight or if you're gay or if you're trans, people want to feel safe. And even the issue of like going to a gay club, I don't have to feel like I need to go to a gay club to have a good time. So it's little things like that. So I just think there's just a lot. I don't even know where to begin. There's just a lot of stuff that we need to fix. And also even in our own community for ourselves, how we treat each other. We're already also doing boundaries. We're doing exactly what straight people do. Putting us in a box and saying, this is how you are, this is how you are. In our community, we do that to each other. You're femme, so you should be a bottom. You're this, so you should be that. You're lesbian, so you must be butch. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, there's a toxic situation happening with how we treat each other as humans, just generally.
I think that that's a really important point. There's just a lot of work to be done within our community, and I think that that's essentially important. I think that sometimes it's just a huge question, but sometimes it starts with the interpersonal. It starts with you and how you treat your fellow LGBTIQ person, and if you're not, if you're an ally, how do you create spaces of support and just momentary, like everyday support. It doesn't have to be gigantic gestures. But I think that question it goes to the fabric of who we are as society. So it's a difficult one to try and to like answer in a minute-long answer. But I think that essentially there are a lot of questions we're facing about who we are as society right now, and the questions that we have to face.
And do you guys have any closing statements?
I mean, I'm just really grateful for what Mandima and Trayvon are doing. Like, it's really beautiful. Like, I mean, I get so many messages still from the ball, people being like, oh my God, it was amazing, thinking that I'm even one of the organizers, and I'm like, I'm not, but thank you.
Thanks for the vote of
Thanks,
confidence.
I'll take it. You know, I think they've inspired just like the community and just the people of Joburg, just about how to show love, you know, how to be with each other and how to treat each other. And also to remind ourselves that we're worthy. Yeah.
I think it's the beginnings of something incredibly special that I'm so happy to be in the generation that gets to experience. I feel like it's the expression of the phrase, we are the ones we've been waiting for. The ball has given me so much. It's given me a family. It's given me like a sense of like boundless creativity. I'll never forget Larato's pink like blanket extravaganza. That was just like phenomenal and like blew my mind. And there were so many other people who were just wearing such incredible things, and I was just in awe of our creativity, but also kind of just in awe of the sense of space that was created, you know, just to be that version of myself on stage and experience that electric energy. Like there's nothing like walking that ball in that space, and I think that part of the sense of safety in that space, the sense of community in that space filters from organizers, and being very, very intentional about kind of what you're trying to create.
Yeah. Guys, thank you once again for coming. Thank you for engaging. Have a really, really good night further, and congratulations again on winning. Thanks.